Breaking news here, James O'Keefe at Project Veritas. Our investigative reporting into ballot harvesting has led to an arrest. The Texas Attorney General has just announced that Raquel Rodriquez has been arrested for ballot harvesting. For voter fraud, she could face up to 20 years in jail. As you recall, Raquel Rodriquez was the individual we caught on tape in San Antonio, Texas, talking about cash for votes.
When you do things like this for votes, you're talking between $5 to $8 per vote.
Saying, quote, I could go to jail. I'm a little apprehensive to tell you what I'm effing doing.
What I do in picking up the ballots when he was with me, that's illegal. I could go to jail. So I'm a little apprehensive to tell somebody what I'm doing.
We caught her on tape. She was committing voter fraud, and everyone said voter fraud never happens. It can't happen, that no one's held accountable for it. Well, guess what? Raquel Rodriquez today, you could see her on a perp walk. There's the picture of her with her hands behind her back. The Attorney General of Texas making an announcement, quote, many continue to claim there's no such thing as election fraud. We've always known that claim is false, and today we have hard evidence. The Attorney General's office went through all of our raw tapes, talked to our investigators, we cooperated with them. Attorney General, quote, the shocking and blatant illegal action documented by Veritas demonstrates a form of election fraud my office continually prosecutes. I'm fiercely committed to ensuring the voting process is secure and fair throughout the state. Raquel Rodriquez was also caught on tape talking about how many votes she can bring to the polls. Let's take a look at that.
So like on a day like that, how many ballots do you think that you can do that with?
I've already done, I don't know, probably like 1,800. And so I can honestly say I'm bringing at least 7,000 votes to the polls.
Describing how much it would cost to buy 5,000 votes.
$55,000 upfront, 5,000 votes.
That's right.
Cash.
Cash.
And describing continuously how she doesn't want anybody to know what she's doing.
And you do not let anybody else know this is what I'm doing, because if I go to prison, I do not look cute in stripes. And I will hate you forever.
Had we not done this, this person would continue this criminal activity. And perhaps the most shocking thing of all, people in the news media are trying to claim that Project Veritas is the one undermining the elections, not the people on tape committing the fraud. Now, we're doing investigative reporting here, showing fraud. Someone's been arrested. I get an email last night from one Brian Schwartz from NBC Universal, who emails me and asks, quote, Project Veritas is also a bunch of groups that align with the president's claims that some form of voter fraud was taking place in the election. They're trying to shame me for doing my job and reporting on this individual, breaking the law. They're trying to make the argument that somehow I'm, quote, aligned with the president's agenda. It's called journalism, Mr. Schwartz. Maybe you should try it instead of attacking my team for doing our jobs, because had we not done this, you would not know about the fraud that's taking place. Is it millions of votes? Well, it appears to be at least tens of thousands, and those are the only ones we know about. Raquel Rodriquez is the tip of the iceberg, and we need more of it, not less. So for those of you in the news media who says there is no such thing as voter fraud and we're trying to undermine the elections like Mr. Schwartz here, take a seat. You've done nothing. You do nothing but punditry and censorship and attack those who actually do their jobs. And for those of you who are in our audience, for those of you who are hopeless and cynical and bemoan how tragic it is what's happening in our world and our society, follow me, I'm going to show you something. You know what? You can have hope, because this is a consequence. I know it's not the consequence that you want, but it's the beginning. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Yesterday, a lawyer for PBS gets fired because we caught him on tape committing acts of violence. Today, the Attorney General of Texas arrests someone after we caught her on tape committing voter fraud, and there's thousands more like it. So is it enough? It isn't enough. Should we do more? Yes, we should do more. But if you want to change the world, you start by changing yourself. You start by acting. Have courage, grow a pair of balls, go out in the field, and try doing some journalism, because it works. And we're going to create an army of whistleblowers and reporters to go out and do this over and over and over again. And the only ones who can stop us is ourselves.